All right. Welcome everyone to our Thursday morning production call. We have a fire of a call lined up for y'all today. Um, Super excited about this one. Before we get started, I love to always intro with this is an hour-long call. Highly suggest you get your pen and notepad out. We're going to go over actually some really cool numbers. So I'm going to give you actual things to write down so that you can move forward on right, just kind of have a really good lead journey and path to a 40K month. But it's an hour-long call. You're not going to remember everything. If you're attending and you're investing an hour of your time of the day, like have a pen and notepad out, take these notes so that you can actually apply. And one of my favorite things is, right, we're not asking you to go change the way you do everything. These are just really good to take two or three nuggets, and I'll kind of hit on those throughout the call of which ones I think right are going to be the best ones for you to actually start applying this week, especially lead investment wise and activity wise and expectations on how to write business at a higher level. And one of my favorite things to do too is if any of this starts working for you, right from any production call, if y'all can also go on school and post like, hey, we took this nugget and I applied it and it's actually helping me write more business. If you can post whatever those little things are, it does help so many other agents, right, to go that maybe missed the call or didn't write that note down. And so we get to learn as a community and start writing more business. So um we'll get started, right? This is going to be the journey to 40K month. I want to start a little bit first on belief and where the industry has kind of shifted. So, in case y'all don't know already, you are probably at the best time ever to be in insurance. And I love saying that because when I joined 9 years ago in insurance, I used to hear that from stage all the time, right? It was like there couldn't be a better time because the opportunity was better back then, right? Like they had technology started kicking in. 9 years later, we're telling y'all there couldn't be a better time to be in insurance. And so there's been a shift. And I want to talk about that shift really quick, because if you've been here a couple of years, or if you've been here even a year, so much has changed in a year. And so what I want to walk y'all through some of those changes. So when we started 9 years ago, we would get leads once a week. So we would put in a standing lead order, or you can only buy them once a week, and you would get them on a Thursday evening. And then you would have to dial Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you didn't have enough appointments. But we were trained to have 6 appointments minimum a day. You were not, because we were driving to people's homes. You were not supposed to leave your house unless you had 6 appointments. Like you couldn't get mentored if you left your house with 3 appointments because they knew the results, right? Like I couldn't call my mentor and be like, hey, I ran 3 appointments today and it was bad, right? Two of them no showed me, and the one that I sat with, it was a no. Like I had a bad day. They're like, no, you didn't have a bad day. You didn't have the right expectation set up for your day, right? And that was 6 appointments for tomorrow, right? So back then it was over the weekend, 6 appointments for Monday. And I want y'all to realize this: the leads are better now than they were nine years ago. Like the way they develop, the way they verify text messages, they verify addresses, like they all kinds of things happen now that was not happening back then. And so I want y'all to write this down. 9 years ago, every agent had 6 appointments for tomorrow. Didn't matter what type of bonus leads we were on. Didn't matter what type of A leads we were on. Didn't matter if we were working warm market. We had 6 appointments for tomorrow. The next thing, right? So this was a process. We would get our leads on Thursday, call them Friday and Saturday, book up our Monday and Tuesday for 6 appointments. And then we'd drive to their houses and sit with them, right? When I started with Symmetry, if you were having a $10,000 to $13,000 week, you were either number one or number five, in between there. You were in the top five if you had a $15,000 week. Okay. You were number one to number five if you had a 25 to about a $35,000 month. those were the top of the leaderboards. And I think, and I'm talking to myself here, I think some of us that have been in insurance, so if you've had your license for a while, if you've been here for 2 years or 3 years, I think we've been stuck in that time, right? The industry has changed over the past 2 years drastically. If you are watching Symmetry's leaderboard, so if you're not, so this is why I loved hopping on the national call, because when I joined, we would have our weekly call, and the leaderboards on our weekly call were like $3,000 to $4,000 a week. And I was like, well, that's not even the income I wanted to make. And so when I started jumping on the national leaderboards, right on, or when I started watching the national call, so if you're not plugging into our Symmetry national call, that's when I was like, oh, there are people writing $10,000, $15,000 a week every single week. I'm like, that's the type of income I have to make, right? Because I came from making already 120K. And I was like, I need to write that every single week if I want to make that kind of income. And so if you're not on the national call, look, what I used the national call was to stretch my mind, right? Like I love our organization, but we are by far not the largest organization in Symmetry. Like you need to go see really big numbers so that, right, it could stretch you and you can see what's possible. Now, fast forward to now, if you are on any type of social media, if you are on if you are watching our national call on Wednesdays, there are people now consistently writing $25,000 a week. A week. There are now people consistently writing 75,000 to 100,000 a month, right? And so just I want to stretch y'all's mind to really think about that, right? Like you are now in an industry that is changing. There's been different booms in the country over the past, right, let's say 50 years, right? In the 80s it was the stock market, right? Like everyone wanted to go be a stockbroker, right? Because they were able to make millions, right? Then it was a realtor, right? You can go be a realtor and you can go make millions, right? I bet you there's a few of y'all with a real estate license, right? And then it transitioned to kind of an in-between ground of entrepreneurs on a lot of random stuff, right? Where the internet was involved, right? Like drop shipping and all these other stuff, right? MLMs, right? Like all that stuff started to pop out. And then that was the next boom. And realize you are now in the next boom. You don't have to go figure it out or find what's the next boom is insurance. Life insurance particularly, right? Because PNC right now is not having a good time. Okay. But life insurance right now, this is the boom of life insurance and financial services, which is what we do. There are people coming into this industry that in their first year are making 3, 4, 500,000 dollars a year. Within a year and a half are making over $1 million. You just got to believe that you are now in that industry because you are, right? And so what we're going to talk about today is really understanding, right, what's possible, what's holding us back, why, what do I have to do in order to get to that type of income. And what I really want to challenge all of y'all with is, are you running this like a business? Because everyone that I've interviewed and asked a ton of questions, because I am so, like, my mind is blown this past year, right? Like I'm watching these agents come into Symmetry and make insane amount of production, build a team at a crazy rapid pace. And so I'm more excited than ever. 9 years into this business, I could not be more excited. And so I hope that's why I really wanted to start this call with this part, because I hope that really gets all of you excited. Like you are in the next boom of the country, and it's insurance and it's virtual sales that we're doing. It's not the door to door anymore. It is exactly what you're doing. How many of y'all over the past 10 years, wherever you came from, were thinking like, man, if I could just find that job, if I can just find that career, if I could just have that opportunity to start that business that allows me to make, right, 300, 400, $1 million a year. Like I wish like that opportunity never shows up for me. I want you to wake up and open your eyes. You have that opportunity today. That's what Symmetry is, and that's what the insurance industry is right now. We are in the boom that's going to, if you go run with this, it's going to change your financial life. It is insane, the type of money and the way we make money, right? So stock, when people were in the stock market, they had to go and they had to be in those buildings for I don't know, 12, 15-hour days, right? Like they had to dedicate their entire day and life and schedule to that. Realtors, the realtors that were crushing it, they were in their car all day, right? They're showing houses, they're going over here, they're investing thousands of dollars to do it. That's how they made millions in there in the mortgage boom, right? And so right now, I think what holds a lot of us back is it's pretty easy in insurance to make a ton of money. And I said this earlier on the Rise and Thrive. I think the easier it gets, the harder it is to do, because it's so easy to give it an excuse. It's so easy to not execute. It's so easy to not hold yourself accountable, because it's so easy to say, I'm going to do it later, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And so I'm going to walk y'all through what me and Ken have been working on this, and I want y'all to know where we're getting our resources from, right? Because I'm a data person, and when anyone tells me, "Hey, these leads are crushing it," "Hey, this right funnel's the best thing in the world," whatever, right? Like we're writing 30K a week. Like I go investigate, right? Like I've ran businesses for 25 years. Like you need to show me data. I'm not going to take your word for it. And so where all this data that we have right now is from the Dylan Crane team. It's from a few other organizations outside of Symmetry that in less than a year are writing over $1 million a month as a team, right? That means they have a lot of producers writing $40,000 to $50,000 a month. And anyone in Symmetry right now that has been writing that type of business, I have reached out to them. I have asked them their lead type. I have asked them their activity. I have asked them what their schedule looks like. And even though they're a little different, what we're going to tell you today and explain is what all of them are doing, right? So their lead type could be a little bit different, their activity could be a little bit different, and only because of lead type. But at the end of the day, they're investing just about the same amount of money, and they're all making the same amount of money. So I hope that's getting y'all excited. Again, just so that y'all know where this data came from, I was like, okay, I've been a little calm through the year of my production, and I was like, man, all these folks are doing this. So I applied what they were telling me last month, and I finished right under $40,000. So it's a proven fact that these numbers and these statistics work. So again, I hope that gets y'all excited. And the cool part is I'm going to break it down from whether you're a brand new agent, whether you've been here a few months or a few years, right? Or you're already writing consistently 20 to 30K, but you want to take it to the next level, right? And so I'll share my screen on some of this stuff, but also I want to keep this super interactive. Feel free to unmute, ask any questions. I really want y'all to participate. As long as it's topic related, right? Feel free to unmute and ask any questions. So feel free to put it in the chat. It's just a little bit hard sometimes when everyone starts going through there. So in industry shift, so 40,000 in a month. Okay. I want to start at the basics. So if you're brand new, and when I say brand new, think of this, because it doesn't have anything to do with time. When I say brand new, means are you writing $5,000 to $10,000 a month? Because that's what I would consider brand new in the industry, only because we haven't broken that threshold of production. Okay, so if you are writing about $5,000 to $10,000 a month, or even less, this part right here is for you. Okay, you got to have a really big business mindset. Anyone that's producing 20 to 30K a month, That's one of the differences that they're doing. They have a very business driven mindset. And I think what a lot of folks confuse business with is I'm tracking all my numbers, right? Or I'm not. And if you're on the not side, you need to start tracking your numbers. But let's say you are, and you're like, hey, but I'm still, Joe, I'm tracking all my numbers. I know my activity. I have my dials. I have my contacts. But I'm still writing 5 to 10K a month. Okay. The number one problem on that business mindset is a real business owner or a business mindset that gets you and pushes you further. The difference is, are you looking to scale? So I want y'all to think about that, right? So write that down. Am I looking to scale? Because if you're running a business, there is no business in America that opens its door and says, "Oh, I want to get to this number and that's it." Right? Every business has a plan. And your plan right now, if you're writing $5 to $10,000, is can I do that consistently? The next step is, can I get to 15,000? The next plan is, can I get to 20,000? And I just want to challenge you, how fast can you scale that and how big of a jump? Here's the cool part. If you're writing under 50K a month, you can more than likely double your production in less than a month, because it really is that easy to scale. Okay. But now on the business side, right? So are whatever you did last week. So how, okay, Joe, you tell me I want to scale my business. And so what's that mindset? Okay. So the mindset is, no business does the same thing they did last week expecting more business. That is impossible. You are right. It's the definition of crazy if you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So you have to know all your numbers. Lead investment will be the number one. So write that down, right? What are my lead investments a week? What is my activity? And in activity, you got to know all three numbers, right? Which is dials, contacts, and booked appointments. And I'm sorry, let's add four. Show, right? Actual sits, because that's the one that matters the most. An actual sit. Those are the things that, hey, what am I doing to make sure I increase that, right? And the last one on that one is going to be training. So what am I doing for training? Again, I know a lot of y'all love this call. I love this call. I host it, but this is not going to get you to 50K a month. Okay. 1 hour a week is not going to get you there. Okay. Jordan Gillum said this a couple of years ago, and it stuck with me. She said, you still got to pay your tuition, right? If you want to go make doctor money, you're going to go spend 8 years, and you're going to go spend about $300,000 to $500,000 for school, probably, right? Maybe even more. So that's the tuition to become a doctor. To become an insurance agent, to make $500 to $1 million, your tuition is just training. Like, you still got to pay your dues. And so right? So if we know it's investment, activity, and training every single week, what are you doing to increase that activity? Right? So when I say, are you comparing last week? What did you do last week? So I want all of y'all to just kind of in your mind, what did you do last week? Did you do any training? What was your activity, right? What were your dials, right? And book and sits at the end of the day, right? Yes, you got to dial contacts and book an appointment, but how many sits did you have last week? And then what did you invest? Did you invest $100, $200, $500, $1,500, whatever it was? What's that number? Okay. Now I want you to put your scaling business mindset on. If you did that last week, whatever those are, why would you think this week, if you do the same thing, this is the week that you're going to pop off? Right? Like, really think about that. What you're telling yourself as a business owner. I did whatever I did last week, but this week I'm writing 5K. Right? Like last week I wrote 1,000. The week before I wrote 4. I haven't been able to break the 5,000 a week, or I haven't been able to break the 10,000 a week. Why would you think doing the exact same thing that you've been doing probably the last 6 weeks, that this week all of a sudden you're going to write the five or $10,000. You don't have more leads, you don't have more activity, and you haven't trained more, right? So that's what a business owner, and so if in case you don't remember, we're entrepreneurs. We're supposed to stay a little mad, right? Like we're supposed to be upset with our results, because that's the only way. We're like, you can, I hate to say never settle, but you can almost never settle. Like that's just the reality of an entrepreneur, right? Because if the week you hit a 5K week, I hope the next thing in your mind is, well, if I did 5K, that means I could do 10K. And the week you do 10K, I hope you say, hey, if I can do 10K, I can do 15K, right? Because I want y'all to remember this, no business stays flat. That does not exist, right? Flat actually means you're going backwards. So just really have that mindset, and I hope this is priming y'all for the numbers I'm going to give you, the activity, and kind of the week by week breakdown. But just really look at your activity, your investment, and your training. Those are the three things. I've done this for 9 years. Anyone that has ever raised their hand and said, Joe, help me get to 40K, and that's my cap. I can teach you to get to about 30 or 40K. I can't teach you to write 100, not yet. Not yet, because me and Ken are on a mission, and we're going to go write 100K in a month. Then I can tell you I'm going to teach you how to write 100K. So we'll have that call coming, right? But at least for now, I can teach you to get to $40,000. And just realize, so what am I doing different to raise my standard every single week? And you have to take this with so much intent. Anyone that was in Rise and Thrive yesterday, they were talking about or yesterday or the day before yesterday was about writing down your goals with Ken, right? It's been 2 days. I think that was one of the most amount of people we had on the Rise and Thrive. I think we're knocking on like 40 people. If any of you 40 are on this call, have you written down your goals the past 2 days? Like you said you would on Tuesday. Just want y'all to think about that, right? Because that's this is what's going to teach you to scale, right? Like you have to admit, hey, I'm not doing a lot of these things, and that's why I'm not getting the results that I want, right? One of the sayings is you can't get upset of the results. You can't get upset of the results you didn't get because of the work you didn't do, right? And so when you're scaling your business, you can't get upset. You're going to get upset, but you can't be mad that Symmetry doesn't work, the leads don't work, or your activity doesn't work, or the scripts don't work if you're not trying to scale this, right? Like you can't get upset with that. So those are the three things I really want you to focus on, because it is super important. Everything from the rest of this call that I give you, it does not matter if you're not willing to do those three things and scale them weekly, right? So whatever your budget is, can you invest more this week? And not can you invest, you have to invest more, right? Your activity, not can you dial more or sit with more families, you have to dial more and sit with more families. And on your training, same thing, is like, I hope I can fit one in. No, you have to train more. You're going to be sitting with more people. You're going to have more different situations. You're going to have more different underwriting scenarios. You're going to have you're going to have so many more different objections. You're going to have so many different homes and families. So you need to train up, right? Because I can tell y'all, on your journey to 25,000, because one thing I've done many times is help agents get to a top producer level, right? Where they're writing about 25 to 30,000, issuing $20,000 a month. Like clockwork, every top producer on their journey there calls me and they're like, this isn't working. I'm horrible. Like everyone's telling me no. Everyone's no showing me no. That is, like, you're getting more, but it's not more than it was percentage wise. It just feels like more, because guess what? You went from booking 6 appointments a week to booking 15 appointments a week. So you're naturally going to have more no-shows. You went from booking 15 appointments a week to now booking 25 to 30 appointments a week. Guess what? Now you have 15 no-shows throughout the week. It feels horrible, especially if 5 of them are in the same day. Like that's when the top producer calls me and they're like, no one showed up today. I dialed out everything yesterday. Like this is no, I don't know what to do. They even almost get paralyzed. But that's why you got to train up, right? Because part of training up to do this, remember you're in sales, you better have a solid mindset. So I hope you're reading the books of the month or reading. And on top of that, are you reading the book of the month? And are you also reading like a sales book, right? Like Go for No, right? Like Never Split the Difference, right? Like those are books you're going to need to have inside of your head to go through all these things and emotions because you've scaled, right? So like the pain of investing more and being scared on that, you're going to feel that, but you're also going to feel the pain of the no's and rejections. So you got to brace yourself because those are the two reasons. I want y'all to write these down. Two reasons why agents or why I might stop doing the scale is because I'm scared of my investment and I'm going to lose money, or my mindset told me not to stop, right? Because I'm failing. I promise you, I've done this for 9 years. Those are the two things that enter every top producer or on their journey to become a top producer. Those are the two things. Like I $1,500, Joe, this week, and I didn't sell or I didn't get a deposit because I sold until Friday or Thursday or Friday, and now that deposit's not coming until Tuesday, and it feels like I didn't do anything this week, even though I invested more, right? Like that's the first scary. Then the next one is I sat with a whole bunch and I wrote one and it barely cleared it, right? Like you're doubting all your mindset because of what's happening. So just remember, those are the two things that you're going to have on this journey of the next couple of weeks if you really push yourself for this. So let's get into the how do I get the production right now? So if you're in that 5 to 10,000 marker, right? I can almost promise you more than likely you're probably just barely making it week to week, right? What does that mean? I'm making enough deposits to probably clear my lead investment and maybe pay a few things of my household, right? So if you feel that struggle, been there, and we're with you. We can scale it, right? So what's five to $10,000 a month in production?
Turn left on Murdoch Avenue.
Right. That is the struggle place. Somebody needs to mute. And that's the place where you're going to feel very frustrated because it's just enough to clear your lead investment and it's just enough to maybe pay a few things from probably late. Okay. That's why we have to scale your business. So the fastest way right now to scale your business, and let's all shout out to Mr. Ken, okay? Because the easiest route right now is to go get some warm market applications, right? Because to start scaling, the number one objection I hear to start scaling, like if I said, "Hey, Linda, okay, you gave me all your scenario of where you're at right now, leads you're taking, activity, money," you're like, "Well, maybe I don't have the $500 to increase in leads right now." That's going to be my number one objection given to me every single time, right? Like I want to scale, but I don't have the money to do it. You don't need money, you need activity, right? So it's going to be the client qualification form that Mr. Ken made for us. And this is because you need to go hit your warm market, right? And remember, warm market is not just your brother, sister, mom, dad. Okay. Your warm market is anyone you know and everyone you know, right? You need to scale your business. If you're going to start growing this the way you have imagined in your mind, so many people say this so well. I hope I say it right. If you started any other business, you would be posting about it. You would be telling everyone, like, "Hey, oh my God, I started my smoothie business. You need to come by the store, right? Come check us out." Whatever business you would open, if it was a gym, like, "Hey, come to my gym, come check us out." You need to do the same thing with this. This is insurance. "Hey, I started my financial service business. You need to come check this out. Maybe I can help you with something. If not, check out what I offer so that you can go tell other people and be on my side." Like one thing you can guarantee is your friends are going to help you, right? Maybe it's not your friend that you're going to sell to, but maybe they have a mom and dad that need coverage. Maybe they have another friend or a brother that needs coverage. So you need to get out of your fear. You run a business, you're going to have to scale. So I'll go through this super, super quick, but this is inside of school. Where am I? Right? So this is going to be inside of school under classrooms, and you're going to come to marketing. and it's going to be right here. Okay. And if you have an agency owner, make sure you go to your agency owner. They have this job form for you already. So just ask him for it. And it's super simple. You need to go find 20 people. So I want y'all to write that down. Anyone that's under that's at $5,000 to $10,000 a month. If you haven't done this already, and I can almost promise you most of you haven't, is you need to go find 20, you need to go fill out 20 of these. You have to, right? You got to scale your business. You have to go do this. Go find 20 people and simply say, hey, I want to fill this out. And in fact, let me spotlight Mr. Ken. This is a great video. So when you're in here, watch this video. He tells you literally word for word. The text message that you can send out to people is inside of this video. Go check that out. But once you're on the job form, it's super simple. It's going to be your name, phone number, your email, and then the person that you're meeting with, right? Their name, their state, and you're just going to fill it out. It's just their date of birth, height, weight. You're just uncovering information. This is great reps and great training, right? Tony Robbins on the Rise and Thrive talked about reps. This is how you get 10 sits, 20 sits for free. You have to go do this. Stop fighting your feelings of I don't want to reach out to my warm market or I don't want to reach out to somebody. You are in business. Everyone should know about your business. You're going to fill this out super easy. Again, just their medical information. The really cool part is it starts to break down. Do they have insurance? What type? Do they have kids? Do they have annuities, 401ks, Roth IRAs, all this stuff? You're going to just get all their information. And the really cool part is you're not trying to figure this out by yourself. Your upline can help you with it. Or if you already know how to write business, this is just a great way to generate a free lead. You have to do this to 20 people. If your objection, and I'm telling y'all, every time I try to coach somebody on how to scale their business, their number one objection is I don't have the money to do that right now. We can't wait. Your business, and when I say we, I hope y'all hear me because we're all partners together, right? And your business can't wait till next week. Your business can't wait for 2 more weeks when you feel like it. You have a real business. And if it's not producing an income, you're going backwards, right? Like if you're not depositing money this week, your bills are still coming, right? Like expenses are still showing up. The internet still got to get paid. Your phone bill still got to get paid. Your rent at home, whatever it be, your mortgage, like you got to push. No one is coming to save you. You are an entrepreneur. You have to push yourself. So you're going to fill this out 20 times. This is going to generate you about 5 applications. If you go fill out 20 of these, the average right now is you get 5 applications. What's 5 applications on average? It's about $3,500 in deposits. In deposits. I love asking this question because everyone says yes, but then we don't do it, which is, hey, if I told you if you filled out 20 forms, you're going to make $3,500, would you do it? And everyone's like, yes. And then the reveal is, well, you got to go fill out the client qualification form with 20 warm market people. And they're like, oh, right. Like all of a sudden the feelings got in the way. Right. But if you take the feelings out, everyone's like, oh, I fill out 20 forms and I make $3,500. Yes. That's proven fact. Those are the statistics that we have right now. So that's what you got to be willing to do right now to generate a lead investment. Now, here's the next part. If you're writing business as well this next week or two, right? And you deposit $2,000 or $3,000 until we scale your business to where you want it to be, you need to stop spending that money. It is not your money. I understand you need to pay some bills. I understand you got to eat, but you're not going to eat in 2 weeks if you keep spending the money. You're never going to get yourself out of that cycle. You are an actual entrepreneur. You have to pay your business. The business has to have the income, right? Or the revenue and the funds to go deposit and make, or should I say, to go reinvest in leads. So first step is going to be these 20, right? 20 or client qualification, 20 warm market. You got to push yourself to do this. Okay. The next scale is invest in some bonus leads. So this is only for new agents, right? If you're a seasoned agent a little bit farther, we're going to give you that journey in a little bit. But for right now, you got to go invest in some bonus leads. Okay. What is that investment? It's $200 to $400. You got to figure that money out too. Right. And here's the next thing. This is a real business. You got to come up with the money. Stop sitting there and thinking it's just going to show up on an app one day. If you got to go Uber drive, if you got to go put it on a credit card, if you have to do something. You're running an actual business. Stop being scared. Get out of your emotions and push yourself because it's going to scale. It works. I promise you it works if you work it. Right? If you do those three things, right? Remember, invest, activity, and train. It works. Now, if you do one or the other, if you just go invest and you don't put in the activity and you don't train, you just threw that money away. So this is why you got to be all in as an entrepreneur. You have to do all three things. So yes, I'm telling you, go buy those $200, $400 worth of leads this week so that you have someone to talk to. You have to push yourself. I've been in the situation where I had to pay something late. Okay. You're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the scariest place to be until you scale it and you're consistent with your profitability. Okay. So yes, go buy some bonus leads. Now here's the next thing. So, right, I hope everyone wrote that down, right? Your first batch of bonus leads is going to be $200 to about $400 in bonus leads. Okay. If you don't have funds, you have to go fill out 20 of these today. Start doing them today. Okay. That's going to get you to week one. What is week one going to look like for me? Okay. Week one is going to look like maybe 2 applications. I hope you get 2 applications. Okay. That's just the statistics. I hope you go get 2 applications. Joe, but you're telling me I'm going to do all that and maybe 2 apps? Well, here's the kicker. If you do the 20 warm market ones, remember what I told y'all, that's about 5 to 6 applications. It's 5,000 in APV. So which one's more comfortable? Which one are you willing to do? And which one has the better results? You got to look at that as your business, right? Like your bonus leads, you're gonna have to dial a lot, and you're gonna have to make sure you're really good. You're gonna have to live dial, right? Stop trying to dial by yourself. I can't say this enough, right? Like stop going into your home by yourself and dialing. We have a live dial room where people can hear you. They can help coach you. Your upline's there to help you, but you gotta train, right? So think of this: if you're not consistently writing $15,000 a month, but you're dialing by yourself, it's my favorite saying is that's like Kobe practicing in the other gym and then coming back to our coaches and say, hey, I need to work on my layup again because I'm missing it. The coach can't coach him if he practiced in the other gym. He did not watch him do any of the moves. You're asking for an impossible mission for us to help you. We have to listen to your tonality. We have to listen to you, what you're saying. Are you actually following script? So many times, just because of nerves, people are off script and don't realize it, right? Sometimes they add one word. If you add is to the beginning of your script, you're just throwing away a lead. What do I mean? Hey, Lynn, hey, right? Hey, hi, is this Linda? And if you say is, they're all going to say no. Like, no, you just gave them the opportunity because they know they don't know you. You gave them the opportunity to tell you no, right? So again, you got to be in the game and participating so that they can help coach you. So 20 of these referrals, right, of the warm market, $200 to $400 in bonus leads. That's going to be week one. Activity is until you sit with 10 to 12 families that week. I don't know what your dials are going to be. It's going to be different for everyone. Some folks have really good voices and can book a little bit more appointments than others. Some are a little bit more nervous and a little bit newer, and it's going to take you $1,000 to $1,500, whatever it takes. If you're not sitting with appointments, you're just sitting there at home anyways, right? And you're running a business. Think of this, right? I always compare it McDonald's because McDonald's, if you owned a McDonald's, a lot of them are 24/7. Right? And you are a business. Every day that you stop working at 3 o'clock, that you stop working at 6 o'clock, that you don't work on a Sunday, that you don't work on a Saturday, you are closing the doors to your business. You got to run your schedule, and that's your own decision. But when I had to learn at the beginning, I wanted to make $200,000 in life insurance. I worked every single day until I figured this out. Then I started, right? I earned my Sundays off. I earned my 7 p.m. off. I earned maybe getting off on at 6 o'clock one day. Like you're a business. You can't close your doors if you're not bringing in profit. That is one thing you have to understand. When everyone's looking at, right, again, I love to talk about Dylan Crane's team. They're like, they're magic. No, I ask them every single question. I'm like, what are they doing? 7 a.m., they're on Zoom till 8 p.m., which is 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific. They're just on Zoom working for 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shifts, right? Now they take their breaks. They go to the gym because they're very big on that, right? Like they'll go to the gym, eat their lunch, go pick up the kids, come back. But when they come back and they start working and they're on Zoom, it's the only way you're going to get better. Remember, the three things you have to increase from last week is activity, lead investment, and training. So in the morning they train. So are you on Rise and Thrive? Are you on the production calls? Are you on the live dial sessions? Are you on the underwriting that we're giving? Are you on the underground where the agents are going back and forth to teach you how to book appointments? Right? All that's got to be done in week one so that you can sit with your 10 to 12 families this week. And I promise you, you can absolutely do it. Okay. Week two, remember, bonus leads are just once you make your first deposit, we need to get you to A leads. So what does week two look like? And I'm going to share this one because Mr. Ken did a great job with this. There we go. Right. So week one was those bonus leads, like I was telling y'all, $200 to $400. Okay. This is just a mix. You can do 30 CICs, 30 CIDs, but you need to be above 50 bonus leads. You cannot buy 5 to 10 bonus leads and expect the results. Okay. You got to be in the 50 to 60 leads a week so that you can book 10 to 12 appointments and write one, depending on the lead level, 1 to 3 applications. Okay. But 1 to 3 applications is going to get you, right, on average, as a new agent, you're going to make a deposit of about $600, $700 per policy. So 1 to 3 applications is $700 to about $1,500. Okay. With a $200 lead investment to a $400 lead investment, I would do that 10 times. What I wouldn't do is stay in that frustrating place, which is I'm dialing and I'm getting right. The practice leads, bonus leads are going to keep you very frustrated. They're great to add when you're trying to do extra production. They are horrible to stay on, right? Like you can't base your business on something that you have to work so hard for, right? Like you're gonna quit. So the mind shift that we want to get you to is I'm on bonus leads for 1 to 2 weeks at the most. Okay. If you write your first 6 applications week one and you made $3,000, we're moving to A leads immediately. We need to get you off of the bonus leads and get you to the people that are ready to pick up the phone and write a policy. Like Ken was sharing earlier, somebody got an MIA that same day and wrote it. Okay. So now, once we get you to that first one, phase two, which is week two, we need to get you on 20 CIA leads. So, why it's so important if you're brand new to write 6 applications, your week one is so that we can unlock a CIA standing lead order. We need to get you to 20 CIAs immediately, but you got to write your first 6 applications first. That's why those 20 warm market reach outs plus a bonus lead investment, you should write 6 applications your very first week. Like you need to do whatever it takes to sit with 10 families, 12 families that week and get your first 6 applications. So that lead batch for the week two, this is what it's going to look like. Remember, you are depositing about $1,500 to about $2,000. If you got your 6 applications, you deposited about $3,000. Do not touch that money. We need that money for the next 2 weeks. Okay. What you're going to do that next week is you're going to go get 20 CIA leads. They're about $24 a pop for a brand new agent. That's about $480. And then you're going to get 10 Razor Ridge leads or even Lighthouse leads, right? But just a digital lead. And that's going to get you to about $800 in a lead investment. Remember, you are a business. You need to scale it. What is that going to look like? On average, again, right, you're making about $960 per policy. Your upfront commission at that level is $720 per policy. That's how much you make upfront, right? Total commissions after your lead investment. I love this number. So you go invest $880. You should have cleared after lead expense over $3,000. This is the craziest business I've ever seen. Once you do that, the second week, we're gonna scale it some more, right? So if you sold all your hamburger in week one in your restaurant, you don't buy the same amount of hamburger meat next week, right? Because you need to make more profit. So you go buy more hamburger meat for the next week and scale it, right? What does that look like? Phase three. Now we're going to get you to $1,700 in a week. This can be done in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I watch agents do it inside of our organization, do this in 3 weeks. And they did all three things, right? They invested every single week more. They dialed more and booked more appointments. And at the end of the day, remember activity, they sat with more people. And then the final one is they trained like crazy. They trained every single day. They trained on tonality. They trained on all our audios that we have. Jeff said this so well earlier. The Mortgage Protection University highly suggest. Chris Leak is a 100K a month producer. He has classes for y'all every single day that you can plug into. So I highly suggest you invest in that one. I think it's like, Amber, correct me if I think it's like $50 one time, something like that. And you get access to all his training. Highly suggest that for you. Right. And so what does that look like? On average, you've gotten a raise in a month, right? And so you're also making a little bit more off commission. That's your advance, the 810. But this is the really cool part. This is weekly now. You're investing $1,700 a week. Your deposits after your lead expense is $5,000 a week. That's how you make $20,000 a month in deposits. It works. I promise you. You just got to let us help you. And you have to have a very business mindset scale. Okay. So I'm going to give you the 3 things to scale this, right? And these are the 3 things I want everyone to work on. At the very beginning, what is my bonus lead investment this week? Whatever that is, right? And 20 of those QCFs, right? Of the client CQFs, client qualification forms. You got to go fill out 20 of those. I promise you, you got some applications around you. Okay. Week 2, after your first deposits, we're going to get you some A leads. You got to push yourself to, don't be scared. This is a business. That would be being scared. Remember, is the hamburger joint that sold all their hamburger meat. And this week is like, no, I'm going to scale it down because that was a rough week. Like I sold a little bit and I made my money back, but I'm not going to do that again this week. Those are emotions in the way. Make sure you're reading a book. And then the third thing, right? Your next deposit, we scale again. You have to scale 3 weeks back to back. Now, here's the cool part. When you get to $1,700, you're going to pretty much sit there unless you want to take the next journey, right? And I'll have to talk about that some other time because I'm still learning to go write $75,000 in a month, right? But to $40,000 a month, and that is over $20,000 in commissions paid to you. That's the journey in 3 weeks, right? And again, this is what I have written down because these are probably in my head. These are the objections I gave myself even through that process. Am I thinking like a business owner? And a real business owner does not do the same thing he did last week or she did last week, right? So you have to have more activity. You have to force yourself. These are not natural thinking, right? This is why there's so few entrepreneurs and more people work a W-2 job. This is not normal thinking, right? Because you just made a deposit and you're like, well, I got to go pay some bills. No, that is not your money. That is your business money. Your business needs to go get more, right? Hamburger meat. If not, you're going out of business. That's the number one place we watch agents fail, right? The next one is going to be the training and activity. You're investing more this week. You have to have more activity and training. Do not do the same thing you did last week with more lead investment. That's going to, it'll crush you. Okay. These are the things that matter the most. And then the final one is, right, are you reading a book? I promise you, I know that sounds so cheesy at the end of all this, but if you're not reading through this process, you're going to stop. Like, it's going to be like, this is crazy. There is something about reading your 10 pages, and I highly suggest the book of the month, The Power of One More, right now is absolutely perfect for this. But also put a sales book in there somewhere. Again, Go for No if you haven't read that one, or Never Split the Difference is a really good sales book because you're just negotiating with your clients. Never Split the Difference is really good to help you book appointments and to get the real objections that you're getting inside of the appointment, right? Because they're telling you different things, and you're able to use just little phrases like, so you want to get coverage, but you don't know why you don't, right? Again, it's called mirroring and all time. It's just super cool. It will absolutely help you. I think that's it, man. I'm telling y'all, I literally practice this all the time, and we're gonna open this up for some questions. I know I went through a lot, but I hope y'all wrote that down, right? The main part, and this is in school. The slideshow that I showed you, or the PDF that I showed you, it's in school. You can see it under leads, but we are here to absolutely help you for anything. Please feel free to call us, and we can help you scale this. But you have to do these three things, right? Like, really analyze your business. And do you just wake up in the morning and do the same thing you did yesterday? Or are you doing one more thing, right? Like, are you adding one of these things to your business? Because it's the only way you scale. And again, I hope y'all really heard what I was saying in the beginning of this call. There are too many people making 50,000 to $20,000 in deposits a month in insurance. We're the only thing in the way. Like, we are the only thing in the way. I'm even challenging myself. I've never broken $100,000 a month in Symmetry. My mission right now is I'm going to go learn how to deposit 100,000. There's so many lessons I have to go learn in that. That means, here's the cool part. It's the same three things we're talking about this. I got to go invest more. I got to go put in more activity, and I got to go get trained more. That's the only way I go from 60 to 70,000 a month to 100K a month. It is like, I'm crazy if I think this is just here. I'll be super vulnerable. These past 3 or 4 months, I'm like, I've been doing the exact same thing. Nothing has changed in my business. I'm like, this is the month we're going to deposit 100K. I'm crazy to think that it doesn't work, but I'm frustrated enough to say, okay, that's reality, Joe. That's not going to happen. I got to go invest more, work more, and train more so that I can deposit 100 grand. So, Grant, or Garrett, you have your hand up.
Yes, I have my hand up. You said you always look for the data, right? Um, you said there were some agents that have used this plan and had success. I'm looking for some help from them. Can you help me get in touch with them?
Yep, it's going to be myself. James has done this before. Amber has done this before. I mean, anyone that's writing 25 to 30K, this is exactly what they did, right? It's not the
Okay.
exact plan, but at the end of the day, right? Because it's going to vary by a couple $100, and it's going to vary what leads they work, right? So, like, if you're in the Miller team, a lot of them, right, are using MIAs, so it'll be a little bit different, right? Some of us use CIAs, and it just depends on whatever they're using lead type, right? So, but that's the plan, right? And so that we can help you, Garrett. Like, so what's the question that you want to answer?
I don't know, Razor Ridge. That seems like a interesting suggestion. I don't know. I mean, I just would want to ask like, what's the I don't know.
Go to their YouTube channel, Garrett. Go to
Yeah,
their
yeah, their
YouTube
YouTube
channel.
is
I
great.
watched all their videos. There's been agents for 6, 7, 8 years been using them. They're awesome. So if you're going to incorporate digital leads, that's where you want to go right now because they have two types. They have a general, and then a premium, which they're amazing. There's agents, you guys, writing 40, 50, 60,000 a month on 20 leads a week, just Razor Ridge. So
Grant,
that's why we're incorporating those in part of our flow as far as lead flow because there's analog and digital. We've been really a good team at like, hey, mastering analog, like Joe said. So CIAs and MIAs are all analog. We're incorporating digital now. So there's tons and tons of people using them all across Symmetry. I even had Brant on my team. He said his first $10,000 month was all on Razor Ridge leads just recently.
Yep, yep. And Grant Lieber last month wrote 97,000 on 30 Razor Ridge leads a week. Right. So again, and all that training's in Razor Ridge. And then me and Ken are actually taking on Razor Ridge this week too. So I'm going to have some direct data for you on that. But I've already done all the research for this. Like this is literally the numbers and the way you scale it. And before y'all get lost in some of this stuff, Garrett, so like the advice I'd give you here, if you're not going to go invest $880 this week, but you're ready to invest, start with the CIAs, right? Like take on those 20 CIAs before you're like, well, I don't want to start Razor Ridge, right? Like scale your business to what you're comfortable with. And I don't even want to say comfortable, just scale your business to what you're going to do right now. And then we can teach you to do the other one, right? So because like right now, are you willing to go buy $800 worth of leads? If you're not, but you know what? I'm ready to buy $400, Joe. Well, then let's not even think about Razor Ridge. Go buy 20 CIAs, right? So don't get stuck in the exact data on this, right? Or the exact lead type. The whole point is get with your mentor and let's scale you to A leads ASAP. Because it doesn't matter what A lead you're working, MIA, CIA, Razor Ridge, like there's a huge difference, right? So at the end of the day, there is a huge difference from bonus leads to A leads. They're like night and day. If you feel like you're on the struggle bus, it's because you're probably stuck in the bonus lead world. And we need to get you to A leads. It is night and day. And Ken, I don't know what you want to add to that because I know you say that so well because some of your agents have told you that.
Sorry, I missed that, Joe.
No, I was just saying it's just night and day from bonus leads to A leads.
Oh
And you've
yeah,
had
for sure.
several agents tell you that, and I love the way you say it. If you want to add, right, just
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so
crazy.
again, bonus leads are practice, and that's what this whole kind of trains about, especially for our newer agents, right? So, I mean, I have Hayden on our team. Yeah, just as an example, he's been here 2.5 weeks. He did bonus leads for about a week and a half. He got his 6 apps from his warm market. He's like, hey, I come from a sales background, but he's like, I want to get to the 8 leads right away. He placed a standing lead order of 20 CIAs and 5 MIAs 3 days ago. Yesterday, he wrote 3 apps on his own, all by himself, right? No help, all A leads. So Rodrigo on my team, he bought his first MIA lead. He's only been here 2 or 3 weeks. We closed him last night. So what we're sharing, you guys, is like, hey, bonus leads are great for what their purpose is, but we've seen a lot of agents get stuck in bonus lead land because they're inexpensive, but they're meant for practice, right? So we just want you guys to scale up as fast as possible. And that's what Joe's talking. I missed the first 45 minutes. I was writing an application, but so
Ah,
I'm sure you nailed it. But yeah, it's exciting, you guys. There's so much. I think what's so cool is the excitement symmetry wide. And that's why Joe and I have been collaborating so much. Like, hey, there's too many people writing 50, 60, 70, 100 grand a month, which it's kind of like, when someone first broke the mile, the 1 minute or whatever it was, the how many ever minutes to the mile, right? Then everybody started doing it. Same thing here. It's like so many people are hitting that 100,000. And not to say you got to come in here and write 100,000 in a month, but it's possible more than ever, right? And that's what's exciting. And so let's figure out, like Joe said, 5 grand a week and doing 20 grand a month. And then it's like, okay, let's see what I can really do here. And it all comes down to lead flow. You know what I mean? Just having enough leads where you're so busy, you don't care about a no-show. That's the position you want to be in, right? So that's really what it comes down to. So
yeah, and if y'all can write this down too, right? Like a proper operating business. So, like, if you went into a franchise, I can almost guarantee you, like, if you opened a McDonald's, they probably would tell you, hey, you probably need, and I'm just spitting out a number, $250,000 a month in inventory. That's an inventory, right? Like, that's just food. You need to buy $250,000 a month to sell, right? And so your business can operate. So I want y'all to write this number down, right? So it's going to be $4,500. Like for your business to operate at a very good level here in Symmetry, it's $4,500 in lead investments a month. Like that's when you hit that level, that's when it gets so good. And just realize the journey to that, it's hard, right? Like you're scaling it. And but embrace that, right? I don't think we talk about that. And Ken, we should probably put something together on something like this, right? Because Ken knows when you had a franchise, like they gave you all the numbers up front. And I think we just don't talk about that enough. Like for you to operate as an agent in Symmetry to be making $200,000, $300,000 a year, right? Because that's why we came here for, right? Your investment in leads is $4,500 a month, right? In that pocket, but that's what it needs to be. It ain't right now. Just realize you're gonna scale it, but the goal is scaling it really fast and staying there, right? And so again, we can help you with that. I'm gonna hit stop record. And but just again, thank you. If y'all have anything that y'all took for this, please again put it in school. If you need help, please also do not go buy leads by yourself. Let us help you, right? So we can find a really good lead batch for you. Challenge yourself. Again, look, you're in business, credit card, go Uber, find some cash to your husband or your wife to pull out some money. Like we got to get something out of the savings and we got to go invest in our business. It's worse if you don't. You stay in that little bubble of you actually deplete your savings $200 at a time versus going to buy $1,000 of leads and making $2,000. It's crazy how that works. It's the same $1,000, but because you put it in so slow, your business actually it'll hurt itself. So I hope that brought y'all tons of value. I'm going to hit stop record.